Meteor Garden was one of the first Taiwanese dramas that I watched back a few years ago when I started getting into dramas. And the first dramas that I watched were all based on the Hana Yori Dango manga. So I watched Boys Over Flowers, and then the Japanese version, and then Meteor Garden. And I will have to say, although I plan to do a video at some point kind of comparing a lot of different elements, I will say that Meteor Garden is my favorite version of the manga. Now, I think all the versions do something different with the story and bring like a different element to the table, basically, about, you know, all the versions, and I think each one does something well or better than another version. But overall, Meteor Garden just, for me, was a complete package of acting and stuff, making, you know, the drama, the manga storylines their own, and the things they did with it. It was just my personal favorite. So I guess we'll start with probably why Meteor Garden is my favorite. It's because of their version of the character Do Myung-ji. And it was his name in this one is called Do Ming-si, played by Jerry Yeon, who's a really famous Taiwanese actor. I really like him. But he just really kind of represented everything that I've always thought Do Myung-ji. Like, when I think of the character of Do Myung-ji, Do Ming-si was that perfectly. And the big thing about the Do Myung-ji character, especially in the manga and all the versions, is the transformation he goes through. Because he starts off as like a self-entitled, selfish, narcissistic jerk who bullies people. He just does things because he wants to. He doesn't care about anybody else. He has his close friends from the F4, but he's not even like, it's still not like 100% close friendship. He's kind of on, you know, he kind of likes to, he's still in his own little world, basically. And his relationship with Makino is what makes him slowly become a better person. And although I like the Do Myung-ji character in all the other versions, in Meteor Garden I just felt that his transformation was the most extreme. And that's why I enjoyed it, is because that was my favorite part of the manga, was his transformation from, you know, a jerk to a good person. Oh gosh. And another thing I liked is the stories, or the storylines. They brought the most storylines, plot lines from the manga in Meteor Garden. And that wasn't always a great thing, because there's some plot lines you could do without because they're kind of similar to others. But I felt like in some of the other versions they really skipped out on some storylines that I really enjoyed, or just combined them with other things. And that's why I like Meteor Garden, just because it just brought the most of the manga to the screen, basically. I also really liked the Makino character, Shawn Sai, played by Barbie Sue. She, like I said, some of the extra plot lines could make her a bit annoying at times, but I liked her character far more than John D. But yeah, she could get angry with the F4 and with Do Ming-si, but she didn't act like she was mentally handicapped, and she didn't constantly, well, actually I don't think she ever made really stupid looking facial features or expressions like John D did, so I love her for that. And the chemistry. With any movie, well, romantic movie or drama, if the two main actors don't have amazing chemistry, I feel like you're not going to be as involved in the drama, because you're not as involved in their relationship, and it's usually the central focus. And Barbie Sue and Jerry Yeon had amazing chemistry, probably the best of any drama that I've yet to watch. They had great kiss scenes, but their chemistry with each other was amazing. And I feel like that was lacking in some of the other versions, especially Boys Over Flowers, because yes, she had some chemistry with Go Jin Pyo and with Ji-hoo. Well, I thought she had more with Ji-hoo personally, but it wasn't. If you watch Meteor Garden and watch that, you'll be like, what the heck? There's no comparison to the chemistry between the actors. So again, that was something I really enjoyed. And the F4, I mean, each version does their own F4. I like this F4. I will concede and say the F4 is the best in the Korean version, was Zero Flowers. But this F4 was still pretty good too, because they showed them a lot in the situations. That's the only thing with the Japanese version, which has a lot of good points as well, but I didn't feel like their F4 was concentrated on or shown enough. It was kind of like on the back burner for most things. And the F4 are really an essential part of any Hana Yori Dango adaptation, because they're just one of the most important parts, and they're what kind of sets the story apart from every shoujo manga where, you know, a jerky guy falls in love with kind of a arrogant, stubborn girl. Not an arrogant girl, but like a stubborn, you know, girl who's different from him. So like the F4 was really the only thing separating that from in a lot of ways. So I really, like I said, best in the Korean version, but I still really liked it in the Taiwanese version as well. And I guess there's like a lot you can say, because it's, you know, 27 episodes, so a little bit longer than the Korean version, but there's a second season, which I will admit I have yet to watch, just because I've heard really not so great things about it. I will eventually watch it because, you know, I'm a completist. But it's just a great drama, and if you want to get into watching the versions of Hana Yori Dango, or you just want to watch a Taiwanese drama, I highly suggest starting with that one. It's, comparing it to other Taiwanese dramas, some can be really, really silly comedic-wise. I mean, John D from Boys Over Flowers has acted, and I can understand that. She's like a perfect Taiwanese actress, because she just, oh, can't stand her. But in Taiwanese dramas, sometimes the more silly ones, they do those exaggerated facial expressions and all that stuff. And that's not in Meteor Garden. That's why I enjoyed it. It's not over the top with that kind of stuff. So yeah, I would suggest starting off with this one. And so yeah, that's my review of Meteor Garden. I love it. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. It's not perfect, but I've watched it a couple times and I still really enjoy it. And yeah, so thanks for watching. And as always, feel free to recommend other dramas for me to watch or rate. And I'll see you later. Bye.